Because the thing with the Bills is like through stretches, their defense really hasn't been that bad. And I don't think the defense has been the problem this year. You held Cincinnati to 24 points. You've lost Matt Milano. You've lost some key players in your secondary. You lost Tre'Davious White this year, who's your best corner, and then you lose your best pass rusher. And really, all things considered, I get it was the Russell Wilson Broncos, but you allow 6 points from that. And Sean McDermott's calling card is defense. And their defense, I get you let up the 13-second game in the playoffs, and you weren't able to stop the Chiefs at all. You weren't able to stop the Bengals in that game. However, the offense has been the anchor around this team that's been dragging them down, because in the Cincinnati Bengals game last year is their offense that couldn't move the ball at all. And this is a team that your defense isn't going to be able to win you every single game, but the offense has to at least come along with you. And then Josh Allen, come on, like let's go. Like, you're supposed to be the next Mahomes, and then Joe Burrow took that from you. CJ Stroud is taking that from you, and then you go up against a reeling Denver Broncos team searching for an identity, and then Sean Payton is able to put his imprint all over this game because it was a masterfully coached game by Sean Payton. He's trying to do his best to get something out of Russell Wilson, and what he's been able to do with Russell Wilson is he's limiting the turnovers this year. He's making him take those checkdowns. And then Russell Wilson is still making some mistakes, but they're at least able to not just give the game away, which if they didn't do that last year, they would have been able to actually make the playoffs if they had a top 25 scoring team last year. That's all it would have taken for the Broncos to make the playoffs last year. So while Russell Wilson is highly overpaid right now, and I don't think he is that guy for the Broncos, he's at least playing like a game manager and has been able to do that. Josh Allen would suit himself better trying to be a game manager. He needs some of that mentality. It can't be boom or bust. He's just Jameis Winston with Cam Newton's running ability at this point.
Yeah, honest to God. And we talked about the you were mentioning earlier just kind of how it's been with the turnovers, but I have the schedule in front of me here.
Okay.
This is the scary part. So this team's 5-5. This team should not be 5-5. You have talent everywhere on the defense, on the offense. You have a top 5 quarterback in the NFL in Josh Allen.
No, you should be 7-3.
But here's the schedule. You have the Jets next week.
You should win, you would think.
You think. Then they face the Eagles.
Oh, you're getting
no chance.
Demolished.
The Chiefs, who are your father at this point, so I'm not even going to go there. The Cowboys.
Who knows? Where is that?
That's in Buffalo. But those are two teams that are both just fraudulent. Then you have the Chargers, which they could lose that game.
Two frauds.
The Patriots, who beat you earlier this year, so anything's possible there. And then the Dolphins, who have owned you as well. So this is a team that there is 7 more games in the season. Will they finish above 500 is the real question.
Yeah, you're probably going 4-3 and you're 9-8 at that point. This is not a 9-8 team.
Not a 9-8 team. This is a team that should be 12-5.
We had them, even if they did that, I predicted them to go 11-6 before the season started. 9-8. It's 2 games off of that, but I had them like, okay, 10-12 wins because they're the Buffalo Bills, and that would be doable. And you should be 11-6 if you could, I don't know, beat the Patriots in New England with against one of the worst offenses in the NFL, and then Josh Allen just gets schemed into an interception by Bill Belichick in that game and ends up losing. And then the Denver Broncos game, you should be 7-3.
You should be 7-3.
There's no excuse not to be 7-3.
And honestly, even the Jets game on Monday, the first game of the season, that was a game where Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, tears his Achilles. Zach Wilson steps in, and I'm going to give credit to Zach Wilson in that game because he did play and he balled out. But at the same time, you'd think that that game would have looked the same if Josh Allen didn't have 3 interceptions
and a fumble.
So if they didn't have 4 turnovers in that game, there should be accountability for Josh Allen. It looks like he's losing a bit of his confidence as well.
Yeah,
but it's like, this team should not be 5-5. There's some serious issues with this team. This team, had they played all their games the way they should, they could be even the 1 seed at this point. But
yeah, they could be in 2 easily. And Josh Allen is a guy where you have weird things where he's throwing up before every game. And then you have articles coming out about him where his teammates a few years ago were talking about how we have to constantly reinforce to Josh Allen how good and how talented he really is. And he has the talent to be a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. And he's playing himself out of the top 5 this year. And talent alone, he should be top 3. Should be him, Burrow, Mahomes.
See, the thing is with Josh Allen is his ceiling is God. His ceiling is the best. He is the recreation of God as a quarterback when he's at his peak. He's amazing. Like I remember the Patriots game in the first playoff game, his first playoff win. Played out of his mind. He had more touchdowns than incompletions. He was on another level. Amazing to watch. And then on his floor, it's Daniel Jones at this point.
Yeah.
He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league when he's at his worst. And it's so frustrating because I want to love Josh Allen. I really do. Because he's big, physical, has a big arm, can move like not many players can do. But what is going on? And I don't know whether it's Brian Dable that he misses, or maybe he just needs like a solid offensive coordinator, because they did fire Ken Dorsey before the show. But it's a mess. And Josh Allen, he's got to look himself in the mirror, and figure things out, because it's really hurting this team right now. And they're going to miss the playoffs, and they might finish below 500, which is a massive failure at this point.